Welcome to Bamanda Podcast, your frontline source for smart, sharp, and straight talk on IT trends, tech truths, and digital transformation. Here is today's podcast in English.
Okay, imagine this for a second. What if your entire customer relationship management system, your CRM, just suddenly buckled under the weight of disorganized data? Or maybe a crucial sales report just vanished, gone, because of some tiny security oversight you didn't even know about. It sounds like a nightmare, right?
It really does. A proper business nightmare.
Well, today we're actually going to tackle that head on. We're doing a deep dive into Microsoft Dynamics 365. We're going to explore that powerful trio, its architecture, how you customize it, and how you keep it secure.
Yeah, think of it like we're peeling back the layers of a really sophisticated business tool. One that, honestly, millions of people rely on every single day to get their jobs done.
Absolutely.
Our goal today really is to give you a solid grasp, help you navigate these, well, sometimes tricky, but absolutely essential parts of Dynamics 365. We'll look at how organizations use it for, seamless operations, how they tailor it to fit their specific needs, because every business is different, and crucially, how they protect their invaluable data, both from internal mistakes and external threats.
Right. And it's worth mentioning all the incredible insights, the details we're sharing today. They come straight from the comprehensive Bamanda technology training material on Dynamics 365, architecture, customization, and security.
That's right. We've spent a good amount of time with this material. It's really thorough.
It is. It's a valuable resource, and we'll definitely be referencing its wisdom throughout our conversation today.
So whether you're maybe a solution architect just starting out, or perhaps a business owner thinking about Dynamics 365 for your company.
Or maybe you just love understanding how these big, complex systems work, how they all fit together.
Yeah, then you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to try and break down the jargon, offer real-world scenarios you can actually relate to. We might even do a little role-playing later just to help make these concepts really stick in your mind. Make sure you walk away feeling well-informed.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, let's kick things off then. Section 1. Okay, let's unpack this architecture piece first. And imagine you're building a huge, sprawling, modern city from scratch.
Okay.
You wouldn't just start throwing up buildings randomly, would you? Like plonk a skyscraper next to a park, next to a factory.
No, that would be chaos. Absolute chaos.
Exactly. You'd need a master plan, right? A blueprint. Something that defines where everything goes, how all the roads connect, what purpose each district serves. That's basically what we're talking about with Dynamics 365 architecture. It's the intelligent master plan for your business operations.
That is an excellent way to put it, yeah. Think of that Dynamics 365 architecture like that carefully designed city grid.
Right.
You've got distinct districts for different functions like finance, sales, service. You've got efficient rows for data to flow between them. And you have crucial infrastructure connecting everything, making sure it all runs smoothly without interruption.
Okay.
This cohesive, really well thought out design, and this is something we picked up from the Bamanda training material, that's what makes it such a powerful and flexible platform for businesses of all shapes and sizes, really.
So let's start with the city itself then. Its modular nature. Because Dynamics 365 isn't just one gigantic application trying to do absolutely everything at once.
No, definitely not. That's a common misconception.
Instead, it's more like a sophisticated suite, a collection of intelligent, modular business apps. Each one is meticulously designed for a very specific business function. Sales, customer service, finance, you name it. But here's the real genius, I think. Despite being specialized, they're all built from the ground up to work seamlessly together, sharing data, sharing processes.
Exactly. It's like having those specialized districts in our city analogy. A financial district, or a retail zone, a service center, but they're all interconnected. They operate under a unified governance.
Gotcha.
And the real power there is that you can pick and choose the specific applications you actually need right now, knowing they'll still communicate effectively. For instance, you've got Dynamics 365 Sales.
The CRM part, right?
Yeah, the core customer relationship management, or CRM application. It's all about managing that sales lifecycle. From finding leads, managing opportunities, forecasting sales. It integrates with tools people use every day, like Outlook. You can even use AI for things like lead scoring. So it's ideal for sales teams, business development managers, anyone dealing with B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer relationships.
Okay.
And then there's Dynamics 365 Customer Service. This is your hub for delivering consistent, personalized support.
Right. Call centers, help desks.
Exactly. It covers robust case management. It supports omnichannel communication, so email, chat, phone, social media, it doesn't matter. It includes knowledge-based articles, so customers can help themselves sometimes. Plus, it has features like service level agreements, SLAs, those agreed upon standards for how quickly you respond and resolve customer issues. Vital for help desks, contact centers, absolutely vital.
Okay, what about businesses with people out in the field?
Ah, yes. For them, there's Dynamics 365 Field Service. This manages everything from work orders and service tasks right through to automated scheduling and optimizing routes for technicians.
Keeps them efficient.
Precisely. Perfect for field technicians, service coordinators. Keeps everyone productive and on schedule.
Makes sense.
For the marketing folks, there's Dynamics 365 Marketing. This is a really powerful automation solution. Think email campaigns, designing complex customer journeys, managing events, lead scoring.
Connecting marketing and sales.
Yes. Essential for marketing teams trying to align with sales and personalize their outreach effectively. Then you have Dynamics 365 Project Operations. This is specifically built for project-based businesses, professional services firms, for example.
Right, consulting, things like that.
Exactly. It covers project planning, resource management, time tracking, budgeting, billing. It fosters collaboration, offers critical profitability reporting, invaluable for those kinds of businesses.
I can see that.
For retail, there's Dynamics 365 Commerce. This supports omni-channel retail, so unifying the back office, the in-store experience, and the online operations.
So POS systems, e-commerce sites.
Yep. Point-of-sale systems, e-commerce storefronts, loyalty programs, inventory visibility across all channels, creating that truly unified shopping experience customers expect now.
Okay. And the big one, ERP.
Ah, yes. The backbone for many larger organizations. Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain Management. This is your enterprise-grade ERP solution.
Enterprise Resource Planning.
Correct. Handles comprehensive financials, procurement, inventory management, manufacturing processes, global compliance requirements. It's pretty much indispensable for mid to large enterprises navigating those complex financial and operational landscapes.
Wow. Okay, so the real genius here, it sounds like, isn't just having all these different apps, but that modularity. It lets businesses, iterate faster, swap things out, scale globally maybe?
All of the above, yeah. They can scale specific functions globally without having to rebuild their entire core system from scratch every time. It really does help future-proof their operations.
Okay, so let's paint a picture. Imagine a big global company, maybe an electronics manufacturer. They're setting up their Dynamics 365 architecture. They're not just buying a CRM or an ERP system. They're deploying, say, sales for their global teams, finance and supply chain management for their factories and logistics across different continents, and maybe customer service for support centers in various time zones.
Exactly. That modularity lets them pick and choose precisely what they need for each part of the business and scale it worldwide without deploying stuff they don't need. It's like building that city tailored to their exact global requirements rather than some generic one-size-fits-all solution. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. Foundational, actually. At the absolute core of this modular city, the thing enabling all these different districts to talk to each other, share resources seamlessly. That's Microsoft Dataverse. Dataverse, okay. As the Bamanda training material emphasizes, this is the scalable, secure, cloud-based data platform. It underpins all the business data, not just for Dynamics 365 apps, but also for things built on the Power Platform, even integrations with Microsoft 365. Yeah. It's the bedrock, the very ground our city is built on.
Dataverse. It sounds intensely technical, maybe a bit intimidating, but really it's just the smart database underneath everything. Is that fair?
That's a fair starting point, yeah. But it's more than just a database.
Okay. And what about the common data model, the CDM? That sounds like another layer of tech speak.
It does, but the concept is pretty straightforward, actually. The Common Data Model, or CDM, think of it like the universal language, or maybe the set of standardized blueprints used across the entire city.
Okay.
It provides a shared vocabulary, a common schema, for standard business entities. For example, it defines what makes up a contact, an account, or an opportunity in a consistent way.
So everyone agrees on what a customer is, basically.
That's exactly. It's not just about naming things the same. It ensures consistency. It makes data easily reusable and understandable across all the different Dynamics 365 apps and even the broader Microsoft ecosystem. So a customer record created in Dynamics 365 Sales is understood in exactly the same way by Dynamics 365 Customer Service.
Ah, okay. So that prevents those frustrating data silos, where the sales team's customer data doesn't match the service team's.
Precisely. It helps avoid those integration headaches down the line.
You mentioned Dataverse is more than just storage. What makes it so special? The Bamanda material highlights things beyond just being a relational database. Business rules, security, integration with Power Platform. Sounds active. Intelligent, not just a passive data bucket.
That's a great way to put it, active and intelligent. It's not just passive storage. It has relational database capabilities, yes, for complex data structures. Its security model is incredibly robust. We'll talk more about that later, but think row-level, field-level control.
Okay.
And its seamless integration with tools like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, AI Builder. That means the data isn't just sitting there. It's active. It's actionable. You can leverage it for custom apps, smart automation, powerful analytics, predictive insights.
So one unexpected way it adds intelligence, beyond just storing data.
Okay, good question. One key thing is its ability to embed business logic directly at the data layer.
At the data layer, what does that mean practically?
It means you can define rules, validation rules, calculations, triggers that operate on the data itself before any application even touches it.
Huh. Like a gatekeeper for the data.
Exactly, like an intelligent traffic cop for your data. It ensures consistency and accuracy across all applications that use that data. So Dataverse essentially turns your business data from just passive storage into an active, intelligent asset. It can enforce rules, secure itself, power new apps, all without needing to move or copy the data around constantly. That's a fundamental shift from traditional databases.
Right. No more garbage in, garbage out if the data layer itself is smart.
That's the goal.
Okay, so this whole Dynamics 365 city, it's not isolated, is it? It's plugged into this even bigger metropolis, the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Things like Outlook, Teams, Excel.
Absolutely. And that tight alignment, that native integration, is a huge advantage. It really enhances user adoption and productivity.
Okay.
So people are already familiar with these tools.
Yeah, less training needed, maybe.
Definitely. It's like our Dynamics 365 city is connected to this amazing public transport network. People can move effortlessly between different services and areas, Dynamics, Teams, Outlook, without having to learn completely new routes every single time.
Okay, so give me some examples of that integration. How does it actually work day to day?
Sure. Take Microsoft Teams. You can embed Dynamics records directly into your Teams chats and channels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Imagine collaborating on a specific sales opportunity or maybe a critical customer case right there in real time during a Teams meeting. All the relevant Dynamics data is right in front of everyone.
No more switching screens constantly.
Exactly. It massively reduces that context switching and boosts productivity.
Okay, what else? Outlook?
Outlook integration is huge too. Users can track emails and appointments directly against contacts or leads in Dynamics 365. And activity logging can even be automated using server-side synchronization. Meaning every important customer interaction gets recorded automatically without the user having to manually copy and paste everything. You get a complete communication history.
Nice. Documents.
For document management, SharePoint Online often acts as the backend for storing and managing Dynamics 365 documents.
So the files aren't actually in Dynamics.
Not necessarily the bulky files themselves. This is powerful because you leverage SharePoint's robust features like versioning, co-authoring, advanced search, while reducing the storage footprint within Dynamics 365 itself. And for personal documents related to records, OneDrive lets users attach files and sync things seamlessly.
Okay, and Excel. I know people love Excel.
Oh yeah. The Excel integration is fantastic. You can open, edit, and update Dynamics 365 data using Excel Online, and it syncs back in real time. It makes bulk data manipulation and quick reporting incredibly flexible.
Okay, that covers the Office side. What about the Power Platform connection? You mentioned Power Apps, Power Automate.
Right. The Power Platform is like the dynamic services that extend the city's capabilities even further, adding new rows, new services, new ways to automate things. It's like the forward-thinking urban planning department, always innovating.
Ah, I like that. So what can it do?
Well, Power Automate is for building powerful workflows, triggering actions across Dynamics 365 and other services based on events.
Like, if this happens in sales, then do that in finance.
Exactly. Power Apps lets you build custom applications, both simple Canvas apps and more complex model-driven ones that read and write directly from Dynamics data in Dataverse, often with very little code.
Oh, code, right.
Yep, low code or no code in many cases. And AI Builder integrates artificial intelligence capabilities, things like prediction models, maybe for lead scoring, or automatically classifying customer service cases, bringing that intelligence directly into your business processes.
This integration sounds incredibly powerful, but how does it work under the hood, especially being in the cloud? Let's maybe try that role-playing thing here. Let's imagine a conversation. Solution architect, maybe named David, talking to a CIO, Ms. Chen, about a new Dynamics 365 deployment.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be the solution architect.
All right, expert speaker as solution architect. Good morning, Ms. Chen. Regarding our Dynamics 365 deployment, the architecture we've designed leverages what's called a multi-tenant cloud environment. Host speaker as CIO. Multi-tenant, could you clarify that for me, David? What exactly does that mean for our data and operations? I need to understand the implications. Security, scalability, especially if we're sharing resources. Expert speaker as solution architect. Certainly, imagine it like a very large, state-of-the-art office building, meticulously designed, managed 24/7. Many different companies, we call them tenants, operate within it. Each company has their own secure, designated office space. Host speaker as CIO. Okay. Expert speaker as solution architect. Microsoft, in this analogy, is the building manager. They handle the building's core infrastructure, the power grid, the foundational security systems, the network, all the general maintenance, the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Host speaker as CIO, right? Expert speaker as solution architect. We, as one of those tenants, get all the benefits of shared, highly optimized resources, incredible scalability on demand, significant cost efficiency compared to, say, building and maintaining our own private data center.
No.
Host speaker as CIO. But what about our data? Is it mingling with others? Expert speaker as solution architect. Critically, no. Our specific data and applications are logically isolated and secure. It's as if they were on their own private floor with dedicated security. No other tenant can access our space. This fundamental strength of multi-tenancy is a core aspect highlighted in the Bomanda technology training material, actually. Host speaker as CIO. So, if I'm understanding correctly, we share the underlying physical infrastructure, the building itself, but our data is securely partitioned, and Microsoft handles the foundational security, the uptime, letting us focus on our business apps. Expert speaker as solution architect. Precisely. And this architecture allows us to scale up or down our usage of Dynamics 365 specific apps like sales or finance, number of users with incredible agility. We don't need to manage complex server infrastructure ourselves. Plus, it's the same cloud foundation that enables that seamless integration with all our other Office 365 tools, creating a truly unified digital workspace. That's a great explanation, makes it much clearer. So, brailing it down, the key benefits of this whole architecture. Unified data, thanks to Dataverse and CDM.
Yep. Unified data, low-code extensibility with Power Platform.
Native integration with Microsoft 365.
Scalability and security handled at the core.
And faster time to value, because you're using these pre-built modular apps.
Exactly. Faster time to actually getting business value.
Okay, so thinking about this section, what does this all mean for you, the listener? If you had to explain Dynamics 365 to someone non-technical, maybe a colleague or a manager, how would you describe that relationship, that dance between the modular apps and the underlying Dataverse?
Good question. I'd probably say the apps are like specialized tools for different jobs: Sales Hammer, Service Wrench, Finance Calculator. But Dataverse is the smart central toolbox and rulebook. It ensures all the tools use the same measurements, keep their parts organized, and are stored securely. So different departments use their specific tools, but all the information ends up in the same well-organized, intelligent, secure place.
I like that. Okay, second question. Beyond just data storage, what are two key features of Dataverse that really enable Dynamics 365 to be so powerful and integrated?
Ooh, okay. Two key features. First, the ability to embed and enforce business rules at the data level. That ensures data integrity across the board, no matter which app is using it. Second, its native granular security model. Being able to control access right down to individual rows and fields provides that deep protection without needing complex custom code layered on top. Those two really elevate it beyond just storage.
Got it. Active and intelligent, like you said.
Exactly.
Okay, sticky takeaway for this section.
Remember, Dynamics 365's architecture isn't just about the software itself. It's about a unified, scalable ecosystem designed to power your entire business, making all the pieces work together harmoniously.
Okay, so if Dynamics 365 is our city and Dataverse is its solid foundation, then customization is where we really make it our own, right?
Precisely.
It's about tailoring that base design, that standard suit, maybe to fit your specific business perfectly. Like a master tailor crafting a suit just for your measurements, your style.
That's a fantastic analogy. And customization is a key strength, something the Bemand material emphasizes. It lets us adapt the system without always resorting to heavy, complex coding, which, let's face it, can be slow and expensive.
Right. Dynamics gives you that well-designed base garment, but you adjust it, add a pocket here, change the lining there to fit your unique business processes and needs perfectly. But here's a warning sign. A common mistake we see all the time: over-customization.
Oh, definitely. Been there, seen that.
I remember one company, they added so many custom fields, so many complex business rules to their lead form. The sales reps actually started avoiding the system. It was too slow, too confusing. They went back to spreadsheets.
Ouch. That defeats the whole purpose.
Totally. It's like adding way too many pockets, pointless frills, overly complex patterns to that suit. It just becomes cumbersome, uncomfortable, maybe even unusable. The goal isn't customization for its own sake. It needs to be thoughtful, strategic. It has to genuinely enhance usability and efficiency without creating a maintenance nightmare down the road.
Well said. Strategic customization. Not just customization, because you can. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. In Dataverse, what we used to call entities, well, the terminology is shifting, and they're now more often referred to as tables.
Tables. Okay, like database tables.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
These are the fundamental data structures. Think of them like specialized filing cabinets where your business records live. You have standard tables out of the box for things like contacts, leads, opportunities, service cases. But, and this is key, you can also create custom tables for something entirely unique to your business, maybe event registrations or asset inventories or clinical trials. You define exactly what data you need to capture for your specific processes.
Okay. For those listening who like to get hands-on, what's a good way to start understanding this?
Great idea. A good way is to try creating a custom table yourself. Pick a simple business process not covered out of the box, maybe like tracking event registrations for a marketing campaign. Do it in a sandbox environment, a safe test area. The Bemand training material actually points you to Power Apps, then Tables, and you just hit plus new table.
Okay.
It's surprisingly straightforward once you're in the Maker portal.
Nice. So you have tables. What goes in the tables?
Right. Within each table, you have fields, or sometimes called columns. These capture the specific pieces of information for each record, your individual data points.
Like first name, last name, email address.
Exactly. Simple text fields, numbers, dates, currency fields. You also have choices, often called option sets, where users pick from a predefined list, like lead status.
Drop-down lists.
Yep. And very importantly, lookup fields. These are crucial because they relate records in one table to records in another, linking a contact to an account, for instance.
Connecting the dots.
Precisely. And then there are more advanced types, like calculated and roll-up fields, which automate calculations and summaries. We'll dig into those in a moment.
Okay, so tables, fields, and you mentioned lookups linking things. That brings us to relationships, right? Tables don't just float around on their own.
Rarely. They form critical relationships. That's how your data connects and actually makes sense as a whole. Think of that classic example. One customer, represented in the account table, can have many sales opportunities, each of the opportunity table.
One to many.
Exactly. That's a one-to-many relationship, or one-in-hand. One account record can be linked to multiple opportunity records.
Are there other types?
Yes. The Bemand material clarifies three main types. You've got one-in, one-to-many, like one account, many contacts. You have N11, many-to-one, which is just a reverse perspective. Many cases might link back to one primary customer record. And then you have NN, many-to-many relationships. This is where multiple records in one table can relate to multiple records in another. Think multiple users being assigned to work on multiple projects simultaneously.
Right. That makes sense. Understanding these relationships seems pretty crucial for designing how data flows.
Absolutely essential. And when you're setting these up, following best practices is vital. The training material suggests things like using clear naming conventions, maybe adding a prefix like new to your custom tables and fields so you can easily tell them apart from the standard ones.
Good tip.
Also, avoid duplicating out-of-the-box tables if you can help it. Use the standard ones if they fit. And critically, when you define a relationship, think about its behavior.
Behavior? What do you mean?
Things like cascade rules. If you delete an account record, what should happen to all the contacts and opportunities linked to it? Should they be deleted too? Or maybe reassigned to someone else? Or just have the link removed.
Ah, okay. So you don't accidentally delete important related data or leave records orphaned?
Exactly. Defining that relationship behavior, delete, assign, share, restrict, is crucial for maintaining data integrity over time. It's a key design decision.
Okay, so we've structured our data with tables, fields, relationships, got the blueprint. Now, how do people actually use it? How do they see the data? Enter data.
That's where forms and views come in.
Well,
They are the primary interface for your users, the windows into that data city we build, how you enter data for a single record, and how you see lists of those records.
right. Let's start with forms.
Okay, forms are basically the user-facing layouts for creating or editing a single record. When you open an opportunity or a customer's contact details, the screen you see, that's a form.
Mm-hmm.
The Bemanda material details several types. The main form is the full experience you see on the web, mobile, and Power Apps. Then there's the Quick Create form, a lighter version for faster, simpler record creation, maybe just capturing essential details initially. You also have card forms used in lists or mobile previews for a really condensed view of information. And Quick View forms, which are neat. They let you display data from a related record directly on the current form, so you can see key contact details while looking at an opportunity without having to click away.
Handy. And you can customize these forms quite a bit.
Oh, extensively. You can drag and drop fields wherever you want them, organize them logically into sections and tabs, add those intelligent business rules we'll talk about to guide data entry. Include subgrids, which are like mini views showing lists of related records, like all the contacts for an account right on the account form. You can even embed things like timers for tracking SLAs on cases. It's all about streamlining data entry, reducing clicks, minimizing errors, and ultimately just making the system easier and more pleasant for people to use, improving that user satisfaction.
Okay, that's forms for individual records. What about lists of records? Seeing all my open leads, for example.
That's where views come in. Views define how data is displayed in lists or grids. They are absolutely crucial for making sense of potentially large data sets and quickly finding the specific information you need.
Yeah, you don't want to scroll through thousands of records.
Exactly. So you might have a My Open Leads view that filters to show only leads assigned to you that are still active. Or a High Priority Cases view that filters for urgent support tickets needing immediate attention. The reference material outlines different types. Public views, which are system-defined and available to everyone. Personal views, which individual users can create just for themselves. Lookup views, used when selecting related records. And advanced find views for more complex ad hoc queries. Each offers a different way to slice and dice your data.
And presumably you can customize these views too.
Absolutely. You can add or remove columns to display exactly the fields you need. Apply sophisticated sorting and filtering criteria, filter by date, status, owner, custom fields, anything.
Highlight important stuff.
Yep. You could even use conditional formatting. Imagine highlighting overdue cases in bright red or high-value opportunities in green. It makes critical information jump right out at the user. It's all about delivering tailored insights, relevant to that user's role, right when and where they need them.
Okay, let's try a real-life scenario again. Put this into practice. Say, a sales team. They're using Dynamics 365 CRM, but maybe they're struggling. The sales manager needs better visibility into leads, and the reps complain that creating new leads is cumbersome.
Okay, common scenario.
A functional consultant comes in. What might they do using what we just discussed?
Right. So following these principles, the consultant would first identify those pain points. Then they'd customize the lead table. Maybe they add a custom field like lead source quality score, allowing rep to quickly rate leads. Then they'd create a new view, maybe call it hot leads, that automatically filters by that score, showing the manager and reps only the most promising leads immediately.
Okay. Addressing the manager's need, what about the rep's complaint about speed?
For that, they could streamline the Quick Create form for leads. Maybe remove less critical fields from that initial form, ensuring reps can log a new lead super fast with just the absolute essentials. The other details could be filled in later on the main form.
Ah, so tailor the forms for different purposes.
Exactly. This direct, user-centric approach makes the system truly work for the sales team, not against them. It boosts adoption, improves efficiency, and ultimately helps them close more deals. Okay, this next set of features, it's a real game changer, especially for administrators and functional consultants, because it lets you apply some pretty sophisticated logic and automation without writing a single line of code.
No code. I like the sound of that.
Me too.
Ew.
We're talking about business rules, calculated fields, and roll-up fields. Powerful tools that bring intelligence right into your forms and data structures.
All right, break them down for me. Business rules first.
Think of business rules as smart guards, standing watch over your forms. They let you define conditional logic that runs directly in the user interface in real time.
So like IF then rules for forms.
Exactly. They can automatically set a field's value based on what's entered in another field. They can show or hide specific fields, maybe hide shipping details if the order type is service. They can make certain fields required only under specific conditions, or even validate data entries to ensure accuracy before the user saves.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine you have a drop-down for product type. If the user selects hardware, a business rule could automatically make the warranty period field visible and required. If they select software, maybe it hides the warranty field and shows a subscription end date field instead.
Okay. Guiding the user, preventing mistakes.
Precisely. Keeping the data clean and complete.
Okay, next up, calculated fields.
Calculated fields are all about automatic computation. They calculate values based on formulas you define, and these calculations happen in real time, right there on the form or when the data is retrieved.
Like a spreadsheet formula.
A very similar concept. The classic example is, say, total price equals quantity unit price. But they can handle more complex logic too. IF statements, date manipulations, text concatenation, really versatile for dynamic calculations without needing a developer to write code.
So the user sees the calculated result instantly.
Yep. As soon as the input fields change, the calculated field updates.
Okay, and the third one, roll-up fields.
Roll-up fields are equally cool, but they serve a different purpose. Instead of calculating a value on the same record, roll-up fields aggregate data from related records.
Aggregate, like summing things up.
Exactly. Summing, counting, finding minimums, maximums, averages. So you could have a roll-up field on an account record that automatically displays the total value of all one opportunities linked to that account. Or maybe counts how many open cases a customer currently has logged.
So it looks at the child records and summarizes info onto the parent record.
Precisely. These typically run on a schedule, usually every hour or so by default, though you can trigger them manually too. They're fantastic for providing those summary metrics you need for dashboards and high-level reporting without needing complex custom reports built.
That sounds incredibly useful for managers.
Hugely useful. Now, some best practices when using these. Use calculated fields for those real-time computations on a single record. Use roll-up fields when you need those summary views, aggregating data from related records for dashboards or quick insights. And please, always document your business rules. What do they do? What do they exist? What's their scope? This foresight will save you, or the next person maintaining the system, massive headaches down the line, especially as the system grows or team members change.
Good advice. Okay, quick revision and question then. What's the core difference between a calculated field and a roll-up field, and when would you actually pick one over the other?
The key is where the data comes from and when it's updated. A calculated field uses data from the same record and calculates instantly. Think price quantity on an order line. A roll-up field aggregates data from related child records onto a parent record, and it updates periodically or on demand. Think total value of one opportunities on an account record. So real-time calculation versus periodic summary from related records.
Got it. Okay, second question. Imagine you're tasked with streamlining data entry for a brand new team. They're just learning this system. What are 2 concrete ways customizing forms and views could help them hit the ground running, improve their usability, their productivity?
Okay, 2 ways. First, really customizing the form itself. Hide fields they don't need yet. Organize the essential fields logically into clear sections or tabs. Maybe use business rules to make critical fields required, guiding them through the process. This reduces clutter and potential errors.
Makes sense. Less overwhelming.
Exactly. Second, creating tailored views specifically for them. Maybe a My Team's Open Tasks view or a New Records Created This Week view. This gives them immediate relevant context. They can quickly see what they need to work on without having to sift through tons of irrelevant data. Helps them prioritize right away.
Nice. Okay, section takeaway.
Remember, thoughtful customization transforms Dynamics 365 from a generic tool into a bespoke system, precisely aligned with your unique business processes, making it truly your system.
All right, we've tailored the suit, the fit is perfect, the basic customizations are in place. But what if you need more? What if you need a specialized gadget built right into the suit, like a grappling hook launcher in the sleeve? Maybe not a grappling hook.
Or perhaps an automated system that handles the dry cleaning, sends it out, brings it back all on its own. This is where we move beyond those basic form and field tweaks into building full-fledged applications, adding rich custom controls, and automating complex business workflows. This is where Dynamics 365 really starts to flex its muscles as a platform. Indeed. And the Bermana Technology training material really delves into this, how the Power Platform, in particular, truly extends Dynamics 365. It lets you create much more complex, data-driven applications and implement robust automation that can seriously enhance business operations. It's not just about tweaking the existing structure. It's about building entirely new, intelligent capabilities right on top of it.
Okay, let's start with model-driven apps. These are a core part of the Power Platform, but they work a bit differently than maybe what people think of as an app.
That's true. Unlike, say, a Canvas app where you start with a blank screen and design every pixel, model-driven apps are inherently data-first.
Data first, what does that mean?
It means their entire structure, their layout, their navigation, it's all driven by the data schema and the relationships you already defined back in Dataverse.
Ah, so it uses the tables and fields we already set up.
Exactly. They're perfect for those complex, data-centric business scenarios where structure, process, and consistency are really important. Things like managing complex cases, tracking projects, handling applications.
Okay, what are their key characteristics then, according to the Bemanda material?
Well, fundamentally, they're built on Dataverse tables, leveraging all that existing data and logic. Their layout is automatically responsive. It adjusts for web browsers, tablets, phones, without you needing to design separate versions.
Nice.
They inherently reuse components. You've already configured your forms, views, charts, dashboards. And crucially, you typically don't need to do detailed UI design. The user interface is automatically generated based on the underlying metadata. That saves a huge amount of development time and ensures consistency.
Okay, can you give me a real-life example? Where would you use a model-driven app?
Sure. Consider an HR department struggling with a complex employee onboarding process. Lots of steps, lots of documents, different departments involved.
Yeah, that can be messy.
They could build a model-driven app specifically for onboarding. It could track each new hire, automatically assign onboarding tasks to IT, facilities, HR, etc. It can manage the submission and approval of required documents. It could guide the new employee through each necessary step of their journey.
So it brings structure to that whole process.
Exactly. Because it's a structured, data-driven approach, every piece of information is captured consistently. Every task is trackable. The entire process gets streamlined and becomes much more visible. It brings order to potential chaos.
Okay. And within these apps, I've heard about business process flows, or BPFs. What are those?
BPFs. Think of them like guided tours embedded within your model-driven app. They literally shepherd users through the defined stages of a business task, like qualify a lead, or develop a proposal, or resolve a customer complaint.
So they show you the steps?
Yes, they visualize the stages, highlight the current stage, and can even enforce required steps or data entry at each stage. They ensure everyone follows the same best practices, improve consistency, reduce errors, and make it clear where you are in a potentially long process. A digital roadmap.
That sounds useful. What about seeing the big picture? Dashboards.
Dashboards are key too, and they're also detailed in the reference material. They provide those visual summaries of key records and key performance indicators, KPIs, tailored for different user roles. So a sales rep might see a dashboard showing their open leads, their sales pipeline visualized in a chart, maybe their upcoming activities, gives them an immediate snapshot of their world.
And a manager.
A manager's dashboard might show aggregated KPIs for the whole team, total sales, average deal size, case resolution times, maybe workload distribution charts, sales leaderboards. They provide those actionable insights at a glance, helping everyone make faster, data-driven decisions.
Okay. For those adventurous listeners again, any hands-on suggestions here?
Yeah. In a sandbox environment, try this. Take a model-driven app, maybe one of the sample ones, and assign different security roles to a test user. Log in as that user and notice how the interface changes.
Like what they can see.
Exactly. What forms are available? Which views do they see? What navigation items appear or disappear? This directly ties into role-based access control, which we'll cover more in security, but it really drives home how you can tailor the entire app experience based on user roles. It's quite powerful.
Okay, let's switch gears to automation. The engine room. Power Automate.
Yes. Microsoft's cloud-based tool for streamlining workflows across applications and services. It's like having a digital assistant that works 24/7, constantly monitoring for specific events and then automatically taking predefined actions. This is where your systems truly start working for you.
So how does it connect with Dynamics 365? What kicks off these automations?
Power Automate flows can be triggered by all sorts of events happening within Dynamics 365 or Dataverse. The most common triggers are when a record is created, when a record is updated, or when a record is deleted.
Okay.
So for instance, you could have a flow that automatically sends a notification email or a Teams message to an account manager the very moment a high-value opportunity they own is marked as closed won.
Instant celebration. Or notification, anyway.
Exactly. That kind of real-time notification can be a massive boost for sales teams or service teams.
What else can it do? It sounds like it could connect different parts of a process together.
That's where it really shines. Orchestrating those cross-functional processes that often involve manual handoffs and potential delays. Think about automating approval workflows. Maybe a large sales deal needs sign-off from the finance director and a legal team. Power Automate can route that approval request automatically.
Instead of chasing emails.
Precisely. Or sending real-time alerts via email or Teams when a critical customer service case gets escalated. It can even synchronize records between Dynamics 365 and other systems. Maybe creating a corresponding folder in SharePoint when a new project record is created in Dynamics. Or even syncing limited data with a third-party system via its API.
So the automation isn't just within Dynamics, it connects Dynamics to the outside world too.
Absolutely. Your business processes aren't confined to a single application silo. They can flow seamlessly across your entire digital landscape, connecting disparate systems, eliminating those tedious manual steps, reducing errors.
Okay, let's try another role play. We need to see this automation in action. How about a functional consultant, let's call her Sarah again, talking to a stressed sales manager, Mr. Davies?
Okay. I'm Sarah the consultant, host speaker, as sales manager. Sarah, we talked about this, the lead handoff process. It's still a mess. Leads come in, maybe from the website, maybe from marketing, and sometimes they just fall through the cracks. Reps get busy, they forget to create a follow-up task. These hot leads are going cold. Expert speaker, as functional consultant. Yes, Mr. Davies, I understand the frustration. It's a common pain point. But this is exactly where Power Automate can help significantly. We can create a flow, an automated workflow. Host speaker, as sales manager. Okay. Expert speaker as functional consultant. This flow automatically triggers whenever a new lead meeting your hot lead criteria is created in Dynamics 365. The moment that happens. Host speaker as sales manager. What happens? Expert speaker as functional consultant. Instantly, the flow can assign a follow-up task to the appropriate sales rep based on territory or product interest. It can simultaneously send a notification directly to that rep's team's channel, so it's right in their face. And it could even create a summary email for you, Mr. Davies, maybe daily, listing all the new hot leads assigned. Host speaker as sales manager. Wait, so a hot lead comes in, and the system automatically assigns it, tasks the rep, notifies them in Teams, and tells me about it, without anyone having to manually remember to do all those steps. Expert speaker as functional consultant. Exactly. It acts as that tireless digital assistant we talked about. It guides the process, enforces consistency, ensures prompt action. As the Bamanda training material on automated workflows highlights, this drastically reduces human error, significantly improves your response time to those crucial hot leads, and frees up your reps to actually sell rather than doing admin. Host speaker as sales manager. That could actually make a huge difference to our conversion rate. Okay, Sarah, let's talk more about this flow. Let's see. Real-world impact. But while Power Automate is incredibly powerful, security is paramount, especially when it's interacting with sensitive Dynamics 365 data.
Right. Can't have automations going rogue.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
The Bamanda material emphasizes some key best practices. First, using service principles. Think of them as dedicated, non-human user accounts for automation to run your production flows.
Why is that important?
It ensures the flow runs reliably without being tied to a specific person's login credentials. If that person leaves the company, their account might get disabled and the flow breaks. Service principles avoid that. It also improves stability and auditability.
Okay, what else?
Store any credentials needed for external connections securely, ideally in Azure Key Vault. Never ever put passwords or API keys directly in the flow itself in plain text. That's a huge security risk.
Makes sense.
And apply those data loss prevention DLP policies we mentioned earlier. Control which connectors your flows are allowed to use in each environment. Prevent flows from accidentally sending sensitive Dynamics data to, say, a personal Twitter account or Dropbox. Basic data governance.
Okay, one more piece in this advanced section. Sometimes, even with all the form and view customization, even with standard controls, it's just not quite right. You need something really custom, a unique visual element, a super interactive control to give users exactly the experience they need.
That's where the Power Apps Component Framework, or PCF, comes into play.
PCF, okay.
Think of it as enabling developers to build truly bespoke UI components. It goes beyond the standard controls offered out of the box. It's like being able to design a completely custom dashboard dial, or an interactive timeline, or a specialized map view that integrates perfectly within your Dynamics forms, or even Canvas apps.
So developers build these using...
Yeah, this is more in the developer realm. They build these using standard web technologies, TypeScript, HTML, CSS. The result is custom reusable UI components that are richer, often much more interactive than the standard controls, and they're fully integrated with Dataverse and the Dynamics 365 Power Apps framework.
What are some examples? What kind of things can you build with PCF?
Oh, lots of possibilities. Imagine an interactive map showing nearby resources directly linked to an address field, or a visual progress bar showing the completion percentage of a complex project stage, custom star ratings for feedback forms, advanced data grids with specific industry calculations embedded, even visualizations that pull data from external sources via APIs. They bring a whole new level of sophistication and tailored user experience.
Okay. The Bamanda material probably goes into the technical how-to for developers, setting up environments, coding, testing.
It does, yeah. It covers the whole life cycle. Setting up the dev environment, writing a component logic using TypeScript, testing it locally with a special harness, and then packaging it up for deployment.
But for most of us, the key is what it enables, right? How do you actually use one of these custom components once it's built?
Exactly. Once a developer builds and packages a PCF component, you deploy it into your Dynamics 365 or Power Platform environment via a solution, just like other customizations. Then, using it is surprisingly simple. In the Form Designer, you just bind that custom component to a specific field, similar to how you choose a standard control, like a text box or a dropdown.
Okay. So it just appears as another option for displaying a field.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And what's really powerful is that these PCF components aren't isolated. They can interact with external APIs securely. For example, a component could call the Microsoft Graph API to check a user's Outlook calendar availability in real time, or maybe pull livestock quotes from a public API, all using secure Azure AD authentication, which is Microsoft's identity platform, to keep things safe. It allows for truly dynamic, context-rich user interfaces that go way beyond static forms.
Very cool. Okay, time for our revision questions for this section. First one. How do those business process flows, the BPFs, really enhance the user experience in model-driven apps? And what kind of scenarios are they best suited for beyond just simple data entry?
BPFs enhance the experience by providing that clear, visual, step-by-step guide. They reduce ambiguity, ensure consistency, and help users navigate complex, multi-stage processes. They're best suited for scenarios that have defined stages and require specific actions or data at each stage. Think managing a full sales opportunity lifecycle from qualification to close, guiding a loan application through underwriting and approval, or orchestrating a multi-departmental employee onboarding process. They enforce the process.
Got it. Second question. If you needed to send an automated notification to a sales manager every single time a high-value opportunity was created in Dynamics 365, what specific Power Automate trigger and action would you likely use? And, crucially, what are maybe 2 key security considerations you'd absolutely keep in mind when building that flow?
Okay. The trigger would be the Dataverse trigger. When a row is added, modified, or deleted, you'd set it for the opportunity table, trigger on create, and add a filter condition, maybe on the estimated revenue field being above a certain threshold. The action would likely be send an email, V2, or post message in chat, or channel for Teams.
And security.
2 key security considerations. First, definitely run that flow using a service principal, managed identity, not a regular user account, for reliability and auditability. Second, ensure your DLP policies are configured correctly to prevent that flow from accidentally sending sensitive opportunity details to any non-approved connectors or services. Maybe even consider connection references for better governance.
Excellent. Okay, Sticky takeaway for advanced customization.
Remember, Dynamics 365, supercharged by the Power Platform and PCF, offers a vast canvas for building powerful, tailored business solutions and intelligent automation, really pushing the boundaries of what your core system can achieve for you.
All right, we built our amazing city. We've got the architecture, the customizations, the automations, but all of that incredible work, all that valuable data, it's completely meaningless if it's not secure.
Absolutely critical point.
Yeah. So let's talk about building that digital fortress around your Dynamics 365 environment. This is all about protecting your most valuable asset, your information, ensuring its confidentiality, its integrity, its availability. keeping the bad guys out and the right processes running smoothly.
Couldn't agree more. And think of Dynamics 365 security roles like ID badges, but way smarter, much more granular. They don't just grant you entry to the building. They decide precisely which floors you can access, which rooms you can enter, what information you're allowed to see inside those rooms, and even what actions you can take while you're there. The Bamanda training material treats this security aspect as absolutely critical, not just for preventing breaches, but for data privacy, regulatory compliance like GDPR or HIPAA, and maintaining overall system integrity.
And just like with customization, there are common mistakes here too, right? A big one seems to be poor role management.
Oh, definitely. Huge one. Either giving users way too much access by default, just making everyone a system admin, which is terrifyingly common.
Yikes.
Or, almost as bad, setting it up once and then never auditing or reviewing those permissions regularly. Either way, you leave your fortress vulnerable. So data breaches, sure, but also just internal misuse or errors.
So what's the guiding principle?
The principle of least privilege.
Yeah.
Always. Users should only have the absolute minimum level of access necessary to perform their specific job functions. Nothing more. You don't give the janitor the keys to the CEO's office, right? Same idea. So let's dig into the tools. Security roles are the absolute cornerstone of the Dynamics 365 security model. They define, in painstaking detail, what actions users can perform on different types of records.
Actions like?
The basic ones are create, read, write, delete, but there's also append to, assign, share. These control how records can be related or transferred.
Okay. And this control applies where? To whole apps?
It's primarily defined at the table level. So you grant privileges on the account table, the opportunity table, the case table, and so on. But it gets more granular than that. You can also control the scope of that access, meaning which records within that table a user can affect. Can they only touch records they personally own? Or records owned by anyone in their business unit? Or maybe records across the entire organization? This hierarchical scope user, business unit, parent-child business unit organization is incredibly powerful for segmenting access based on organizational structure.
Right. So a sales rep might only see their opportunities, but a sales manager sees opportunities for their whole team, business unit.
Exactly. That's a classic example.
Okay. So the best practice here, according to the Bamanda material, how should you design these roles?
The best practice is definitely to create roles based on actual job functions within your company. Don't just use the generic out-of-the-box roles without thinking. Create a specific sales representative role, customer service agent tier 1 role, a marketing manager role. Tailor them. And then always assign the least privilege necessary for that specific job function. If a service agent only needs to read account information but never create or delete accounts, don't give them create or delete privileges on the account table. Be precise.
Makes sense. But what if you need to protect just one specific piece of information within a record? Like maybe a social security number or a credit card field?
Excellent question.
Yeah.
That's where field level security comes in. It provides that extra layer of protection for truly sensitive data points.
So it's security on a specific column or field.
Exactly. While security roles control access to entire records or tables, field level security lets you restrict access to specific columns or fields within a table, even if the user has access to the rest of the record.
How does that work?
You create what's called a field security profile. You add specific sensitive fields to this profile, and then you assign users or teams to that profile. So a user might have a security role that lets them read an entire account record, but unless they're also in the correct field security profile, a specific field like credit score could be completely hidden from them, or maybe made read-only.
Wow, that's granular.
Incredibly granular, essential for compliance in many industries.
Let's do another real-life scenario. Healthcare seems like a good fit here, with patient privacy being so critical.
Perfect example. Imagine a large healthcare provider using Dynamics 365 to manage patient interactions, appointments, maybe even basic clinical notes. They're dealing with highly sensitive patient health information, PHI, subject to strict regulations like AP.
Right. Big fines if they mess up.
Huge.
Ugh.
So first, they'd use security roles to ensure only authorized medical staff, doctors, nurses, specific admin staff can even access patient records at all. That's the first gate.
Okay.
But then within those patient records, there might be fields containing specific diagnostic details, maybe mental health notes or sensitive financial billing information. For those specific fields, they would apply field-level security. This could restrict access even further. Perhaps only the patient's primary physician can view or edit the diagnostic fields. Maybe only a specific billing team member can see the detailed financial information. This multi-layered granular control is absolutely essential for maintaining compliance and protecting patient privacy effectively.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, one more access control tool, access teams. What are they for?
Access teams are a really neat, flexible feature designed for dynamic collaboration on specific records. They allow you to grant record-level access, read, write, append, etc., to a small specific group of users without actually changing the ownership of the record.
Why is that useful?
Think about a complex sales deal where maybe a technical specialist and a legal expert need temporary access to collaborate on the opportunity record, which is owned by the main account manager. You wouldn't want to reassign ownership. Access teams let you grant them the specific permissions they need just for that one record or set of records.
So it's for temporary or specific collaboration on a record-by-record basis.
Exactly. Ideal for project teams working on a shared client account, or maybe a primary task force needing specific time-limited access to a set of cases. You can set them up manually, or use templates for predefined team structures, or even use Power Automate to dynamically add or remove users from an access team based on certain criteria.
Yeah.
Very flexible. Okay, so we've locked down internal access. Now let's talk about protecting the perimeter of our digital fortress. Right. Preventing data from leaking out and controlling who can get in from the outside.
Right. Border control.
First up, data loss prevention DLP policies. These are configured within the Power Platform Admin Center, and they act as your digital border patrol for data flows.
How so?
They control how data can flow between different connectors within your Power Platform environment, including Dynamics 365 connectors and external ones like Twitter, Dropbox, SQL Server, etc. You essentially classify connectors as either business or non-business. DLP policies then prevent you from creating flows or apps that combine connectors from these different groups. So you could block a flow from taking sensitive customer data from Dynamics 365, a business connector, and exporting it directly to a user's personal Dropbox account, a non-business connector.
Stopping accidental or malicious data exfiltration.
Precisely. It significantly mitigates that risk. It's like putting up digital fences around your most valuable data assets, controlling where it's allowed to go.
And you set these up where?
In the Power Platform Admin Center, you define your connector groupings, business, non-business, maybe blocked entirely, and then apply these policies per environment. So your production environment can have much stricter DLP rules than your development or sandbox environments.
Got it. That's controlling data out. Right. What about controlling access in?
That's where conditional access policies come in. These are managed through Azure Active Directory or Azure AD, which is Microsoft's core cloud identity and access management service that underpins Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365.
Okay. What can conditional access do?
It lets you enforce much stricter rules about how and from where users are allowed to access your Dynamics 365 environment in the first place. You can set conditions based on user identity, location, the device they're using, the application they're accessing, even real-time risk detection.
So you could say,
for example, require multi-factor authentication, MFA, for all users accessing Dynamics 365, or only allow access from devices that are marked as corporate compliant in your management system. Or maybe block access entirely if the sign-in attempt comes from an unexpected or risky geographic location.
Wow. So it's like adding extra security checkpoints at the main gate based on who's trying to enter and how.
Exactly. It's absolutely crucial for protecting against unauthorized access attempts, credential theft, and especially risky sign-ins from unmanaged personal devices or potentially insecure networks outside your corporate control. It significantly hardens that perimeter.
Okay, it's vital to remember security isn't just about the core Dynamics apps. It extends to all those custom things we build on top, right? Like Power Apps and Power Automate flows.
Absolutely. You build it, you got to secure it.
So for Power Apps, how does security work there?
It depends on the type of app. For model-driven apps, the great news is they inherently inherit their security directly from the underlying Dataverse security roles and field-level security settings we've already discussed. That simplifies things hugely. If a user doesn't have permission to see certain data in Dataverse, they won't see it in the model-driven app either.
Nice. What about Canvas apps, the ones where you design the interface more freely?
Canvas apps require a bit more explicit security configuration. You need to explicitly share the Canvas app with specific users or Azure AD security groups to grant them access to run the app itself. And importantly, the app's data connections, like the connection to Dataverse or other sources, run under specific credentials, either the logged-in users or a predefined service connection, so you need to ensure those connections also respect the necessary permissions. It's also best practice here to use environment variables to manage connection details for different environments. dev, test, prod, securely, avoiding hard-coded secrets in the app package.
Okay. Now, what about those Power Automate flows we talked about, especially the ones triggered by Dynamics 365 events, like creating a record? How do we secure those?
Securing flows is critical. As we touched on earlier, the number one best practice, strongly reinforced by the Bamanda training material, is to run production flows, especially those triggered automatically by Dynamics events under a service account or service principal, managed identity.
Remind me why that's so important again.
Two main reasons. Reliability, it ensures the automation runs consistently without being tied to a specific human user's login, which might change or get disabled. And auditability actions performed by the flow are clearly logged against that service principal, not buried under a regular user's activity log. It also prevents flows breaking if the original creator leaves the company.
Got it. Avoid running critical flows, as Bob Smith.
Please. Also, as mentioned, absolutely avoid storing secrets like API keys or passwords in plain text within the flow actions. Use Azure Key Vault integration to retrieve secrets securely at runtime. And finally, enforce those DLP policies to limit which connectors the flow is allowed to use, preventing it from becoming an unintentional bridge for data leakage.
Okay, let's do our last role play to nail this down. Security Officer Mr. Miller is talking to System Admin Sarah.
Okay, I'm Sarah the admin, host speaker, as security officer. Sarah, we need to tighten things up. Access controls and dynamics. We've had a couple of concerning near misses. Users, despite their assigned roles, were somehow able to view certain sensitive HR records they absolutely should not have access to. Ooh, expert speaker. As system admin. Understood, Mr. Miller. My first step will be a thorough review of all the existing security roles, ensuring they strictly adhere to that principle of least privilege we discussed. But for those highly sensitive fields within the HR records, like maybe employee salary or disciplinary notes, the most robust solution, as detailed in the Bamanda training material, is definitely implementing field security profiles. That allows us to restrict access to just that specific field, regardless of the user's broader access to the rest of the HR record. Phone call to the speaker. As security officer. Excellent. That granular control sounds precisely what's needed there. Now, different issue. What about preventing employees maybe accidentally, maybe not from exporting confidential customer lists out of Dynamics and into their personal cloud storage accounts, like their personal Dropbox or Google Drive? That's a huge data leak risk. Expert speaker as system admin. Right, for that scenario, we'll configure data loss prevention policies, or DLP, directly in the Power Platform Admin Center. We can establish clear rules defining which connectors are approved, business connectors like Dynamics 365, SharePoint, Office 365, and which are non-business or even blocked, like consumer cloud storage or social media. Host speaker as security officer. And these policies stop data flowing between those groups. Expert speaker as system admin. Exactly. We can set rules to explicitly block Dynamics 365 data, business, from being shared with those non-business connectors like personal cloud storage. It effectively builds a digital firewall, reinforcing our data governance and preventing that kind of accidental or intentional data exfiltration. Host speaker as security officer. Good. That addresses a major vulnerability. Thank you, Sarah. Expert speaker as system admin. Happy to help, Mr. Miller.
Great stuff. Okay, one last hands-on suggestion for the listeners wanting to really feel the impact of security.
Yeah, back in your sandbox environment, try creating a completely custom security role from scratch. Give it very, very limited permissions, maybe just read-only access to a single, non-critical custom table you created earlier. Assign a test user only that role. Then log in as that test user and just explore. See what they can and cannot do, what menu items are missing, what buttons are grayed out. It really, really drives home the power and necessity of role-based access control, RBAC, in a very tangible way.
Excellent suggestion. Okay, final revision questions for security. First, why is role-based security so critical, especially in a big company with multiple departments using Dynamics 365? And how does field-level security provide that extra, even more granular layer of protection?
Role-based security is critical for scalability and manageability. Instead of setting permissions user by user, which is impossible in large orgs, you define roles based on job functions, sales, service, finance, and assign users to roles. It ensures consistency and makes management feasible. Field-level security then adds that crucial extra layer for hypersensitive data points within a record. A user's role might let them see the whole customer record, but field-level security can specifically hide or make read-only the credit card number field or a confidential health note, ensuring only the absolute minimum necessary data is exposed, even to users with general access to the record type.
Perfect. And second, if you're building a Power Automate flow that handles sensitive Dynamics 365 data, what are 2 non-negotiable security best practices you absolutely must follow?
2 non-negotiables. First, run the flow using a service account, service principal managed identity, not a personal user account, for reliability, auditability, and lifecycle management. Second, securely manage any secrets or credentials using Azure Key Vault, don't hard-code them, and enforce strict DLP policies to control the flow's connectivity. Those are fundamental.
Got it. And a final sticky takeaway for security.
Remember, Dynamics 365 security isn't just about locking doors, it's about unlocking trust. By ensuring the right people have exactly the right access, and crucially, the wrong people, don't you safeguard your most valuable asset, your information. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow. Okay, that was quite the deep dive, wasn't it? We really covered some ground.
We certainly did.
We started by exploring that architectural city grid of Dynamics 365, looking at its modular apps and the foundational dataverse, understood how it all fits together.
The blueprint.
Then we journeyed into the tailor shop of customization, learned how to craft those bespoke entities or tables, forms, views, and even inject smart logic with business rules, calculated and roll-up fields, making the system truly fit the business.
Tailoring the suit perfectly.
And finally, we spent time fortifying our knowledge in the digital fortress of security, getting our heads around security roles, field-level security, those important DLP policies, and how to protect the custom solutions we build on top.
Yeah, and it's worth repeating all these insights, the scenarios, the best practices. They're distilled directly from that comprehensive Bemanda technology training material. It really underpins the core idea that a truly effective, successful Dynamics 365 implementation absolutely requires a solid understanding of all 3 of these intertwined pillars. A well-designed architecture, thoughtful and strategic customization, and crucially, robust multi-layered security.
You can't really succeed if you neglect any one of them, can you?
No, they're completely interdependent. Neglect security, and your architecture and customizations are worthless. Poor architecture makes customization and security difficult. It all has to work together.
So a final thought for you, our listener, as you look forward. Technology doesn't stand still, right? Especially now with AI evolving so rapidly. How might the increasing integration of AI-driven insights, things like predictive analytics, generative AI assistance, intelligent automation becoming even smarter, how might that further impact the way we need to approach architectural design and, maybe even more importantly, security considerations within Dynamics 365 in the coming years?
Ooh, that is a profound question to chew on. Yeah. Will AI become a powerful new tool for security enforcement, maybe detecting anomalies we couldn't see before, or will it introduce entirely new attack surfaces and vulnerabilities we haven't even conceived of yet?
Right. It's something to think about.
Definitely. Maybe take some time after this to explore the latest updates from Microsoft around AI builder capabilities within the Power Platform, or perhaps delve into some of the advanced Azure AD identity protection features and how they're evolving to secure these emerging AI-driven workloads. The learning journey with Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform, it's truly continuous. It never really stops.
So true. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope you feel more informed, more empowered, and maybe even, like you said, a little excited about the immense possibilities within Dynamics 365 when you get these 3 pillars right.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep digging, keep learning, and stay curious.